Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This video has been a video I've been wanting to make for a long time now, but I wanted to make sure that what I was doing was working and that I could give you guys full disclosure that I was through what I was going through with my skin, and it took a long time, but I finally feel like I'm in a place to talk about it and share what I've been doing with you guys and what I thought was going on. So welcome to my little skin chat. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what I was going through and how I figured out how to get through it through a lot of trial and error. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to go through what my current skincare routine is for you guys, show you the products that I use, and I will link everything below in the description box so you know where to get everything. But you can probably pretty much get everything off of Amazon. If you've been around and watching my videos for a while, you will know that I went off the birth control pill last December, so over a year ago now. So it's been about a year and 2 months since I stopped taking the pill. I was on it for 10 plus years, and throughout my experience of taking birth control, my skin was fairly clear. A couple pimples here and there, but nothing, no crazy acne, nothing crazy. I've never really had bad acne in my entire life. Like, I've had a couple of cystic pimples in high school, and of course I would pick at them and make them worse, just like I sometimes do still, which is why this is there. But I never really was one of those people that suffered really badly from acne. So flash forward to this past, or last summer, I guess you could say, right about at the 7 or 8 month mark off the pill, my skin just got really crazy. And it was unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life. I was getting really painful, big cystic pimples. I was having a lot of acne that was just on my cheeks and my chin, and I'll put some pictures up here so you can see what I'm talking about. And it was just totally out of the normal for me, and a lot of it was just stuck under the skin, so it wasn't anything that I could pop or pick at, and if I did pick at it, it obviously made it worse. So it was just like terrible. And I know some of you are like, well, I never really saw you have bad acne on your Instagram videos or anything, but it was all on like the sides of my face, so you really couldn't see it if I was talking to the camera straight on and holding my phone up. And I also really tried to hide it well because it was embarrassing, and it was something that really bothered me and messed with my overall mentality, which is, I'm sure if you have acne, you can relate to that. And if you don't have acne, you probably think I'm crazy for saying that, but it really put me in like a depressive state, and I would not want to go out, and I wouldn't want to make videos, and it just made me feel very uncomfortable. So, and I know I've made some skincare videos in the past, and some things did work for me during those times, but they would only work for so long before it got worse again, especially this last summer. So I started doing some research, like I do with everything that I want to learn more about, and I came across this website called simpleskincarescience.com. It's basically a blog, and this guy is very knowledgeable about skincare. He shows his own acne journey, but he also talks a lot about the products and different various topics involving skincare and acne. And I came across this post that was about adult acne, or what is called, and I'm going to totally butcher what it's actually called, but we'll just call it fungal acne because that's pretty much what it is. And so I came across this blog post that he wrote about it, and it's very extensive, like super long, lots of linked things, and it was just very in-depth. So I took some time to read that, and I came to the conclusion that this was probably what was going on with my skin, because there is some research that this fungal acne could happen to those who come off the birth control pill. So still kind of skeptical, because at this point I've tried so many types of facials and products and different things. I probably have spent hundreds of dollars on skincare in the past year, and nothing worked. So I was super frustrated. Like I said, just like didn't know what was happening. And this was all pre-pregnancy. So I know some of you are like, oh, it's just the pregnancy that's causing you to break out, but this was all happening before we got pregnant. So I knew that it wasn't the pregnancy. So just a disclaimer there. So this malassezia, that's how I'm gonna pronounce it. It's an acne-like breakout that's caused by a fungus essentially on your face. So everybody has this fungus on their skin naturally, but with some people it can overproduce and cause a lot of sebaceous activity. So, you know, clogged pores, oily skin, all of that stuff. So that made sense. And the other thing that kind of clicked was this fungal acne is not treated by the same type of things that you use to treat normal acne. So that's why the things that worked for me in the past with the few pimples that I've gotten, like benzoyl peroxide, salicylic acid, none of those things were working. And all of the other products, none of those things are working. So that's pretty common with this type of fungal acne because, and I'm gonna refer to my notes here because I don't wanna mess this up. If you have this fungal acne, you want to steer clear of products that contain things like fatty acids and oils and esters. And those three things are in a lot of the skincare products that are sold on the market today, which, you know, are fine for people who don't have this fungal acne. But if you do have it, it can just make it worse or make it not go away and not change at all. So that was like light bulb in my head because nothing was working. And if you want to read this specific blog post and read what these specific ingredients are that you should be looking for on your skincare, if you think this is something that you have, I'm going to link it in the description. I'm going to put it here and I'll put a picture of what the ingredients are here as well so you guys can see. But basically you want to not use any products that have this stuff in them. After doing this research and figuring all of that stuff out, I was like, all right, I might as well just give this a try and take the research that this guy linked in his blog. And there's a bunch of different products I could have used. He literally lists like so many things that you can use, but I just went through and I picked the things that I thought were best for me. And this is what I did. So with fungal acne, you have to first treat it by like killing the fungus essentially. And that's like the first step. So that can take a few weeks. So I used what he recommended, which is actually an anti-dandruff shampoo on my face, which I know sounds absolutely crazy. And I was like, I literally got to the point where I was like, this has to work. Like I will try anything to make this go away. So I used this shampoo on just the spots that I was having my acne, so my cheeks. And I would use it every other day, every couple of days. Keep it on for like a minute or 30 seconds and then rinse it off. I forget what is in this. I'll put the name up here on the screen, but there were some studies. By this time we'd found out I was pregnant, and there were some studies that showed this certain ingredient, if ingested like by your mouth, was not good for pregnancy if you were having a baby. So I was kind of skeptical, but I ran it by my doctor. Anything topical, she said, was fine. So, and it wasn't like I was keeping this on my skin all day. I was keeping it on and rinsing it off right away. So I did that for 2 weeks. That's it. And noticed a huge improvement in my skin right off the bat. So it took about a week before I saw any changes. And then that second week, by the end of it, a lot of like those little bumps had cleared up, which was like, oh my God, I think I found something that worked. So the other thing I did during that time was I used a sulfur mask, which is perfectly safe for pretty much everybody to use. And it's pretty smelly. If you know what sulfur smells like, it's like rotten eggs. But basically it's just this little mask and you put it on. I would do it on the days that I was not using that other stuff. And you just leave it on for anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes and you can work your way up in time and let it do its thing. It's supposed to be really helpful with acne. There's a lot of research behind sulfur for acne, and I think that also helped a lot as well. So those two things I did for the first few weeks. The sulfur I continued a couple weeks after that just to really make sure everything was like gone. And that alone improved my skin so much. But also during this time, I had to switch out the products that I was using because obviously I could not use a lot of those things listed that made the fungal acne worse. And I didn't want to make it worse if I was helping kill some of it off and then just refeeding the issue. So I switched my skincare up completely based on the recommendations from that blog post. And those two things combined, I mean, I know this is like I'm wearing a hat and stuff. My skin isn't perfect because still going through pregnancy, people, but it's so much better. And I do have makeup on right now and I'm not getting any of those little bumps anymore. I will get the occasional pimple from, I think, hormones. That's just part of pregnancy. But overall, my skin has improved so much and I'm so grateful. So getting into my current skincare routine. So I'll start with what I do in the morning because that's different than what I do at night. So in the morning, Cal's snoring behind me, sorry if you can hear that. So in the morning, I wake up and I don't wash my face with any product. I wash with just water. My skin personally tends to get really dry. So constantly washing with a cleanser dries it out even more. So in the morning, I just wake up, rinse it with kind of lukewarm water. And then I use this stuff, which is covering the label, but it's basically azelaic acid, I think is how you say it. I got this on Amazon. It's just a cream, but this stuff was recommended on the blog site. So I decided to try it and it, I think, is like my #1 product right now. So I'll put this on like as a cream after I rinse my face with water. And then after that, I use this Sunday Riley UFO oil. Not every day, just on days that I have like the hormonal breakout from being pregnant. This does contain salicylic acid. Side note, all of this stuff has been approved by my doctor. She said anything topical is totally fine to put on my face. So please don't comment and say that I'm hurting the baby because I have permission to use this from my doctor. And that's the only opinion that I care about right now. So this stuff is really awesome. It's, like I said, salicylic acid, but it doesn't dry your face out. So I'll put some of that on like as a spot treatment if I have a pimple or two. And then before I put my makeup on, I will use this stuff. It's squalane oil. And this has been one of the only oils that is really good for if you have fungal acne or acne in general. It doesn't break you out further. It's very light, so I'll usually just mix a couple of drops with my BB cream and I'll put that on and it gives me like a really glowy look in the morning, and that's all I do in the morning. And then at night, that's when I wash with a cleanser. And then this is the cleanser that I got. You can literally get it at Target or a drugstore, anywhere. And it's sulfate free. It doesn't have any of those esters or fatty acids that are bad for your skin or bad for fungal acne. I really like this stuff. So I wash with this, and this acts as my makeup remover as well. It just takes everything off, so I don't have the need to use a makeup remover. And then I'll do the azelaic acid again. And then at night, if I am experiencing a breakout, I will use the benzoyl peroxide from acne.com. It's 2.5%, and I'll just, again, use that as a spot treatment. But I haven't even been using this the past couple of weeks because I haven't needed it. And then the last thing I use is a moisturizer at night. So this is the one that I use. It's Avene Tolerance, also approved from that blog site, and it's also very light. It has that squalane oil in it, and doesn't break me out at all. So those are like the 6 products I use. They're all available on Amazon. None of them are like outrageously expensive. I think the most expensive thing was, I think it was my favorite product, of course. But again, none of them are like ridiculously more than like 30 or 40 bucks each. But like this was like $8. So that's pretty much a summary of what's been going on with my skin. I know this was like information overload, but just a reminder, everybody's skin is completely different. Just like your nutrition, just like your training, different things are gonna work for different people. So don't take this as like, oh my God, I need to go buy all of this right now. Do your research, read that blog site, read the article that I'm sharing, and just come to a conclusion if this is the right way to go for you. If not, there's a lot of other great articles and research on that site that are linked So you can probably learn something from that. And yeah, that's kind of like my little acne skincare journey in a nutshell so far. And I know it's going to be ever changing, especially going through the rest of this pregnancy, postpartum. I'm curious to see what my skin does after this pregnancy is over. But so far so good. I feel so much better, and just really grateful that I found something that worked. So I wanted to share that with you guys. None of these products are sponsored. I'm just sharing what I use, what I love, and yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a like if you did. Comment below if you have any questions or can offer any more insight for other people who are watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.